I don't know why she specifically left. I don't know. I haven't read her specific story.
School choice was the big issue. She wanted parents to be able to. She was concerned that many of these schools were so awful that these kids were struggling to learn how to read, and that parents should have a right to take their kid and put them in a better school. And the Democrats were like, "No, shut your mouth."
Yeah. See, and that should be something that is really important to especially poor communities and communities that have kids that aren't they're graduating with a third grade or fourth grade reading level. Like, that is a huge concern, and that's something that you hear about all the time. So I more power to her. I think that that's something that more people should be concerned about.
Absolutely agreed. There are a lot of issues that people say shouldn't be political, and most of the time when I hear that phrase, I roll my eyes. It's like, well, too bad. It is political. That's how this country works. We have one party that's heinously evil. Not to say every individual person in the party realizes that, but yeah, what the party wants is disgusting and horrible and will destroy the country. But when it comes to school choice, I just want to finish this thought. When it comes to school choice, it's so obvious from any framework that this is the right thing. Let parents choose where they send their kids to school. Don't force kids to stay stuck in failing school systems. Now, I don't know why I would have the expectation that people who think it's okay to groom and mutilate kids and kill unborn babies would see that also maybe parents shouldn't be forced to put their kids in failing schools. But even without those other two questions that people end up being tied up with their party's language on and not examining critically, with the school choice stuff, you just got to think whenever they say things like, you're going to destroy or defund the public school system, what they're acknowledging is parents would choose anything besides the public school system if they had a choice. So even their own arguments against school choice are arguments for school choice.
I wanted to say real quick, up until recently, both parties were discernibly evil. Yeah. And then you had this insurgency with Bernie and with Donald Trump. And then Bernie showed himself to be quite a bit duplicitous, and Trump showed himself to be particularly anti-establishment in some areas. And so what you end up with now is a lot of people of influence in the Republican Party who oppose war, who oppose these things that are objectively evil and abjectly evil. And now you have still the neocons trying to claw back power in the Republican Party to once again restore the two massively evil machines in this country.
Yeah, no, well, I think you're right that all of the elements of the Republican Party that it ended up shedding during the Trump administration, at least the bad elements, are ones that people want to restore. I think there's things the Republican Party shed as a result of the Trump paradigm and him taking over the party that I don't think the Republican Party should have shed. I think the Republican Party's become too socially liberal. But when it comes to the warfare issue, oh yeah, I mean, it's one of his greatest accomplishments was pushing the neocons into the Democratic Party.
Yeah, who was it? Was it Mike Pence recently? Some Republican was like, we don't care about culture war issues. Those are stupid.
I saw that.
Yeah, who was that?
I don't remember
like, we
who
care
that
about
was,
economic issues.
It's like that's you're so wrong. But Firstly, the two are unbelievably closely linked. I understand sometimes we want to separate issues into economic issues and social issues, and sometimes that can make sense. But broadly speaking, it's not possible. It's really not possible. Your social views are going to inform your economic views. I don't understand how that could possibly not be the case. But even so, to say, well, I'm really interested in slicing the top marginal tax rate by 3%, and I'm not concerned by the fact that children are being abused and systemically groomed through this horrible school system.
I disagree. Jimmy Dore is leftist on a lot of economic stuff, but not on a bunch of other weird, creepy stuff.
Sure. No, I totally agree, but I think that he would tell you that his moral vision for America is holistic and combines his economic and moral perspectives.
Yes.
Even though I would disagree with him, right? On how he applies those principles.
You take a look at this Mesha Maynor, Democrat, who's now a Republican, and this is a good example of someone who's like, I disagree with this one issue, and they say basically, get out of the party. The Democratic Party is basically the party of, are you in the cult or not? Mm-hmm. And anybody not in that cult is right-wing. Is this how the media works? It's kind of hilarious. I mean, you can think about it in any context. Jimmy Dore. The dude advocates for very socialist policies. They'll call him right-wing. Yeah. However, considering he is fairly socialist on a lot of issues, they struggle with it. You take a look at how they refer to me. Liberal on many issues, traditionally, not modern leftism. And they'll say that's right-wing. Because the only thing that matters, and what this Democrat is realizing, either you march in lockstep with the cult or you get out.
Yes. I don't care what they call me. I'm not marching lockstep with them.